What is up, everybody? My name is Lex, and you are now watching Lex Reviewing Things. Super creative title. And today we will be reviewing the Nintendo Switch Black Wireless Pro Controller. And that's a pretty long title. So, there is good news and bad news with this controller. Here, we start with the bad news. Bad news number one about the wireless controller for the Nintendo Switch is that it does not have a headphone jack on the actual controller anywhere. So if the Nintendo Switch is your only console and you like to hop on the headset, then this controller would probably be difficult only because the only headphone jack for the Switch is on the actual Switch console itself. So if you play the Switch on a television set or something with a big screen on it and you have to be far away, you would only be able to stand as far away as your headphone jack can allow that to happen. Hopefully I use proper English for that. So that's kind of a bummer if the Nintendo Switch is your only console and you're trying to play on the TV. It might not work that well for you. Bad news number two is that this controller is in fact pretty expensive. So I believe I got this controller for about $60 in store at a Target. After doing a quick Google search right now, it seems like most places this is about $70 online at most legit websites. So that can definitely get a little pricey, not preferred just because that's more expensive than most Nintendo Switch video games. But let's get to the good news now. The good news on this Nintendo Switch wireless controller is that the battery life is amazing. So, as you can see right here, it's actually a rechargeable controller and it comes with a cord. So this is the cord that the Nintendo Switch wireless controller comes with. So obviously the USB end connects into the Nintendo Switch itself, and then this other end connects into the controller. So you could actually use your Nintendo wireless controller while playing the game while it's also plugged in, charging, all at the same time. And I kind of said all of those words out of order and I used really bad grammar, but hopefully that made sense. And a second little point about the battery is that once you fully charge this controller, I can honestly say after almost a year of using this battery has not died on me once. And there's been multiple days where I've played using this controller without the cord, the charger cord connected, and I've probably honestly played for like hours at a time, at least 3 hours, and it still hasn't even died on me once. Good news number two is that this wireless controller actually also works while the Nintendo Switch is in handheld mode. And it's really simple. All you really do is just connect the Nintendo Switch controller to the cord, let it sort of sync up there with your Nintendo Switch. And as soon as that happens, you can simply just remove the Nintendo Switch from the dock, and you can actually use this controller while it's in handheld mode in a wireless fashion. Now, this could be really great for like first-person shooter games on the go, or if you're just feeling lazy in general and you want to use the Pro controller and handheld mode while you're like laying down on a couch or something like that, that's pretty cool too. And good news number three is that the feel of this and the quality is really good. So despite how expensive this thing actually is, it's actually really good quality and pretty durable. And the feel is exactly what you want in a Pro controller. It's actually really good feel, really high quality. I mean, it is mainly plastic, but even the designs are kind of pretty cool there. But if I had to compare it to the other consoles, this is probably, it's slightly smaller than an Xbox controller. Slightly bigger than a PS4 controller. But I'll be honest with you, the PlayStation 4 is my favorite console, but this controller actually feels a little bit better to use than a PS4 controller when playing the same video game. So I usually play Fortnite with the boys on PS4, but there'll be other times where I have to play Fortnite on my handheld mode with this Pro controller, and it actually feels better than the PS4 one. So that's the good news and the bad news on the Nintendo Switch Wireless Black Pro Controller. Now, what rating do I give it? Drum roll, please. 9.3 out of 10. So I do give this controller a very high rating just because I absolutely loved it, I'll have to admit. So let me sort of explain a little bit more on why I gave it such a high rating, and maybe I can show you some of my biases. So I was actually looking for a controller that I can use in a wireless fashion while the Nintendo Switch was in handheld mode. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a rough process when I was looking at all types of product reviews for this, or for any controller that can be used as a pro controller in handheld mode for the Switch. But no lie, literally every video I looked up wanted you to like unscrew all types of screws in the Nintendo Switch and contact the FBI to try to hack into Nintendo in order to use a pro controller in handheld mode. Which is crazy because this is literally like one of the first controllers you always see in store at all types of Targets and like Walmarts and other stores, I'm sure. And this wireless controller does exactly that. You can use this with a Nintendo Switch in handheld mode. So the headphone jack is a big deal for me, that the fact that it doesn't have it on the controller. But to be honest, my main console right now is the PS4, so I'm not too bummed out that this one doesn't have it. And like I said, since I was really getting this for the handheld mode for Switch, and that means I don't really need to be too far away. So it's not too much of a big deal for myself personally, but it's something to consider if, once again, the Nintendo Switch is your only console and you plan on playing this on the television instead of handheld mode. And that's why I'll be honest, the reason why the price and how expensive it is didn't really factor too much was because I really was only getting it for that one reason. So that was my review on the Nintendo Switch wireless black controller. If you disagree and you think it's actually way worse, or if you agree with me, or hey, if you even think it's better than what I gave it, then let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video and my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching Lex Reviewing Things, and I will see you on the next product review or podcast, so stay tuned.